The talented Bodie Smith says every wave says aloha as it kisses the beach. And the beach says aloha to every wave as it returns to the sea. In this episode, we're just going to talk. We're going to throw away the 5-minute rule, and we're going to extend this podcast so that we can truly learn how to live aloha, so that we can really rock our work and love our life. The truth is, we can have it all. Let me start by saying you actually can have it all. In both business and life, it is possible to take advantage of the best that life has to offer. Now, I believe that while we can have it all, it's really kind of unlikely. And so I wanted to open up some unpublished work and just kind of read to you some thoughts I have on a framework of well-being that I've created to help top-performing executives like you figure out how to have it all, how to thrive at work and in life at the same time. Here we go. Let's start with this. Can people like us ever really have it all? Now, by people like us, I mean high-performing leaders who love their work and yet want to flourish in life. Let me tell you that it is possible. Top-performing executives understand that work matters. It gets more challenging as we attempt to nurture healthy relationships with our family and split our time. Time becomes our enemy, forcing us to prioritize. Prioritizing is the tension we all face when trying to map a path forward, growing our careers and loving our lives. Uncovering a pathway to well-being for high performers came at the right time as we fully recover from the impacts of the pandemic and what it had on our work and personal lives. Well-being models can tend to resemble a fountain of youth, and the ALOHA well-being model is no different. The spirit of ALOHA coupled with a common-sense method frees our hearts to soar. One thing that is for certain is that most top performers love their work. I love my job and its impact on those I work with in the healthcare industry. I know my place on the planet for sure, but I still have to push my potential to the limits. I don't often settle for average, and I'm guessing if you've come this far with me in this podcast, you don't either. The aloha attitude of the islands inspired me. I wanted to use this concept to connect myself and others to the emotional breakthroughs I was having. My visit to Oahu, the third largest of the Hawaiian Islands, was memorable. The island is one offering an incredible experience that flows between what I would say is urban sprawl and country living. From the Dole pineapple plantation to the breathtaking sunset at Waikiki Beach. If only I could put it in a bottle and take it home with me. I found a much-needed connection to my well-being and aloha in this setting. You see, along with the busy schedule, I was walking with my dad through the final year of his life. I had the pressures and stressors of life while loving my work. When I was with my dad, I was stressed about work. When I was at work, all I could think about was my dad. Have you ever found yourself in a position like this? Aloha, for me, was the key to a secret chamber of a new way of looking at work and life. It was an inspiring step forward for those like me dedicated to their careers and, well, living the good life. Aloha translated combines two really great words. Alo, meaning presence, and ha, meaning breath. These two words offer a powerful reminder of the breath of life. While I don't claim to be an expert in Hawaiian culture, I am a raving fan. I respect these wonderful people's deep and meaningful traditions and language. Aloha reminds me to enjoy my career journey as much as the accomplishments I'm pursuing. The Aloha framework cultivates and helps us maintain a healthy well-being framework, resiliency levels, and states of happiness. Unfortunately, well-being isn't a task you can do once and consider it finished. It's essential to assess continually, measure, of course, and modify our habits and thinking. The ALOHA framework helps to address 5 areas necessary for overall well-being. Each of the ALOHA elements operates in harmony with one another. You see, it was built on the back of practical application. The ALOHA framework took me on a deeper dive into the world's most recognized frameworks like PERMA, I took the best teaching of the strongest minds in positive psychology to form ALOHA. I was on a mission to find a framework that meets high-performing executive demands. People like us who understand and appreciate the importance of meaningful work. To achieve this goal, ALOHA became a powerful symbol and a way of offering something better. Now, well-being improves resiliency and happiness. We know that to be true. The ALOHA framework of well-being addresses 5 areas that are essential to well-being. Each of the ALOHA elements, and ALOHA I'm using now as an acronym, ALOHA, each of these elements operates in harmony, as I mentioned, to cultivate this healthy state and balance of well-being. What are these 5 elements? Let me talk you through these real quick. The first is A, achievement. You see, we need to learn to do hard things with success. We can't leave a bunch of bridges in our life half built or burnt down. We need to finish the things we start. Achievement is key. When I get stuck and bogged down in projects and tasks, I ask myself, what's the next right thing? Just so that I can begin to focus on one thing, get really clear on it, and complete it. This happens typically by motivation, talent, and courage. Achievement is one of the keys to having well-being in our life. The next is L, or legacy, right? And that's living a larger purpose to make a difference. We all want to understand the impact we're having on others and the world, especially knowing that our time on earth is limited. Living for a larger purpose makes us a larger person. And when we can get past ourselves to the greater good, we begin to have larger levels of impact. Lin-Manuel Miranda said, a legacy is like planting a seed in a garden. You may never get a seed grow fully, but it's important that that seed gets planted. And so legacy is an important part of the well-being framework. The O then is others. And this is cultivating relationships and building community. Community built on understanding, diversity, and trust. I'll say this clearly. There is no leadership outside of inclusive leadership. I guess you might call that dictatorship, but it really isn't effective, so we won't go there. There is no leadership outside of inclusive leadership. Your community, who you cultivate relationships with, are really important. And then 8 for health, where most of us land in February and saying, hey, I want to get better and healthier at the new year. But this is caring for the whole person, your body, your mind, and your spirit. And without the whole person integration, it'll never truly work. And finally, this brings us to A, my favorite part. Adventure, activating unusual or exciting growth opportunities that exist only outside of our comfort zone. You see, we've got to get out and experience life. The pandemic, if it taught us anything, taught us that we weren't meant to be locked in our home 24/7. We weren't meant to work at our desk and go to bed in the same room. We were built for adventure, and stepping outside of our comfort zone and feeling resistance really has an impact on our work. A friend of mine says that healthy people make healthy leaders, and I agree. So regarding the science and practice of well-being, this is a subject I take very seriously. Now, I hope that this has helped you kind of organize your thinking about how will you achieve well-being in 2023 and beyond. And if you're like the 80% who've already given up on your New Year's resolutions, or like my friend who was 2.5 days into a commitment that couldn't be fulfilled, don't give up now. Remember that achievement, legacy, others, health, and adventure can be your key to unlocking progress in your life. I want us all to live ALOHA, because I believe that when we learn to live ALOHA together, we can all have it all and rock our work and love our life. And now it's your turn to get out there and rock your work so that you can love your life. Not every job is going to be your dream job. I get that. However, if you can use your strengths every day and you know your stuff, the sky is the limit. If you've liked what you've learned, will you consider subscribing on iTunes and leaving a review? I'd sure appreciate it. Until next week, I'm cheering for you.